office of Representative Sam Rohrer. I'm here with Jim Compton and Aaron Bollinger, and we are looking at a hearing coming up tomorrow in regards to Real ID, a public hearing by the Intergovernmental Affairs Committee, which we were anticipating may start to open the doors for some hard questions that a lot of people have, including most of the legislature here, in regards to a relationship between PennDOT and Visage. And we're going to get more into that down the road. But we found out today, via the agenda that was issued and a memo that went out from Curtis Thomas's office, that the meeting tomorrow isn't exactly what we thought it may be. So, Aaron, you want to explain to us, you were a little bit heated this morning when you found out how this thing was going down. Were you surprised by this? Tell us exactly what's happening.
Well, a little bit, but basically, we can be surprised or not, but we need to let representative government have a chance. Basically, the agenda is locked down. We're going to have representatives of Homeland Security, PennDOT, the PEMA, Emergency Management Agency for Pennsylvania, and some other pretty much government insiders doing the show. Won't be any testimony, I don't think, allowed from the general public. But there again, there are sponsors of this anti-Real ID bill. In fact, three of them. Curtis Thomas, the chairman, David Stile, the minority chairman, and Ronald Buxton, a committee member, who are scheduled to speak, and all three of them are co-sponsors of the bill to kill Real ID. So basically, we the people have to allow our representatives to represent us, and they need to be the ones asking the questions at the meeting of these government officials, and hopefully they'll ask the right questions to get the answers out there, and at least to get the public thinking about what's really going on behind the scenes with Real ID. Well, doing a little bit of a strategy, trying to figure out how to best work this committee hearing tomorrow, based on the fact that it was short notice publishing it and otherwise. So what we want to try to do is find somebody on this committee who's also a co-sponsor on our primary bill that will be vocal and work with us as closely as possible to get the things that we need. Now, the question is, what do we need? We need an amendment to the House bill to make it read the same as the version that we have in the Senate. So we need someone on the committee willing to introduce that as an amendment. Secondly, we want to make sure that no other bills or resolutions get brought up and put into a higher position on the pecking order than the bill that we want, which is 1351. And as I'm digging for my list of who's who here, I'm finding everything except what I want. But that's not uncommon. We've only got 5,000 pieces of paper to try to deal with.
So what was the move? Why are you having to scramble like this? What was the move?
Well, there's a hearing scheduled, but they did it on a day that's not a general legislative day. They've taken it outside the state capitol. So we got to make sure that everybody that we want to be there, everybody that needs to be there, even knows about it, which they may or may not. So we got to make sure. We know that Representative Buxton is on the committee here, and Buxton is also a co-sponsor, correct? Now,
yes. Jim, as we know, the legislature isn't even in session right now. The significance in your mind of holding such an important meeting at a time when most of them aren't here?
Yeah, right now most of the legislators are home and they're running around with petitions to get their name on the ballot next time around. So that's what this week is for. So it's interesting when he scheduled this, okay?
This reminds us of the Federal Reserve. The creation of the Federal Reserve was done at a time when most legislators were not even in session, so the ones who wanted the Federal Reserve Act passed came and voted for it, and everybody else that didn't know what was going on were excluded. And that's the way I see this kind of thing being played out politically.
One of the things that we've been working on this morning is to come up with some questions, specifically questions that show, or they ask basically, the religious rights of people in Pennsylvania. Okay, their Article 1, Section 3, I believe it is, would be violated by the Real ID Act. So we're going to ask that one of our representatives speak to that question to Homeland Security or whoever may be there. Another one would be our right to privacy. And how does this tie into the Strategic and Prosperity Partnership of North America, also known as North American Union, where they have to talk about the Western Hemisphere Travel Initiative.
Yeah, the Trusted Traveler Initiative.
Okay, so he's one person we definitely want to talk to. Who else is on the committee that's a co-sponsor? We can't count on Mark Cohen. I'd like to think we could, but I'm not sure. Bill Quartz, I do not know. Mark Kosick is not a sponsor, although he would carry considerable weight if we could get through to him.
Does implementation
Of the Real ID Act of 2005 not violate freedom of conscience of Article 1, which is the Pennsylvania Articles of Rights.
Declaration of Rights.
The
Pennsylvania
Declaration of Rights.
Kerry Benninghoff is a sponsor and is on the committee. John Baer is in Lancaster County. And it would be nice if he would be part of it, but we don't know for sure if he can or will be.
period.
Yeah.
Does not
Does not the Real ID Act of 2005
do this. Wholesale video. What would we do? Imaging and biometric system being implemented by.
We're using the Face Explorer software. We need biometric system using
such as
Face Explorer. Oh, Explorer is all capitalized. Face is not, Explorer is.
He could be a champion for the cause, especially for the Mennonite angle.
Or clears you by one, and then you can establish that, and then just blatantly ask, is this program being developed by Visage and PennDOT part of this?
See, here's the kicker. That was in June of 2005, right? So come down here. 3 years from June 2005 is what?
2008.
June 2008. Within 3 years, and here we are. We're on the 36th month. We're there.
Right.
Okay. So that's the global development program for North American Trust Travel.
Right.
Who, there you go, is just part of that program. Those are some questions that we're working up, and hopefully they'll be asked of the folks that are coming down from Homeland Security.
Well, luckily it is a public meeting and it is open to the public, so we'll be there with our cameras rolling and we will be filing reports throughout the day. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned.